Hello, everybody. Welcome to our first stamp bowl. I am hoping that you can join me today to learn some different stamping techniques. I was thinking back the other day when I first started stamping and how much I really did not know and was unsure of. So today, hopefully, I can answer some of your questions and make you feel right at home with stamping. So I'll wait a few minutes for everybody to get on and then we'll go ahead and get started. Let me know when you're here. Hopefully I'm live here. It looks like I am. See a couple people joining in. Let me know when you're here and then we'll go ahead and get started. I do have prizes to give away today too. Just like when the football teams score touchdowns. Of course, we want to have some celebration events for us stampers. Oh, somebody gave me a thumbs up. I see a few more people joining. Go ahead and let me know that you're here. I have some prizes to give away today, and that'll help you get into the ranks to win some of those goodies. And they're things that you really can use in your everyday stamping. Hey, Jill. Welcome. Hello. Somebody says, hi, beautiful. I don't know who that is, but that makes you feel good, right? Oh, it's Carrie. Hey, Carrie. I should have known, right? We'll get started in just a few minutes. I have some fun projects planned and some prizes to give away. So make sure you have your typing fingers ready. It was so bright today in my studio, and now I'm starting to get shadows everywhere. And it seems on my barn doors behind me, you can see the light reflecting from the windows. But I'm really glad to be in my new studio. For those of you that don't know, we built a new home. And in a portion of our home, I have a studio. So when people come to stamp with me, I have beautiful tables in here and ergonomic stools for everybody to sit at and wonderful lighting. So hopefully you can join me at some point. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and get started. I have some fun projects. For those of you who have never stamped before, I'm going to kind of take you through the differences in our stamps, how to put our stamps together for use, the differences in our ink, the differences in some of our adhesive. So I want you to be able to learn things that maybe you didn't know before, or perhaps even some easier techniques that you can use in the future. So one of the first things that I like to tell people that you need is, of course, a stamping block. And the blocks come in all different sizes. I'm sitting here peeling these stamp sets off of the blocks. We have a wide variety of stamp blocks available. Sometimes mine are a little dirty. I have a little StazOn ink on here. I need to use some StazOn cleaner, which we'll talk about. And the importance of these blocks, I know some people say, well, I got some blocks at home I can use, or I was given these blocks and yeah, they're great, but the thickness of these blocks, I don't know if you can see this, they're easy to grip and they have a ridge down the side. They're easy to mount your stamps to, and pretty much now this is all we use for stamps is our clear blocks. We no longer have the wood block mounted stamps. We still have some of the red rubber stamps, and we also have photopolymer, which I'll talk about here in a minute. So when you're getting ready to stamp, you're going to need to have a block. Now, if you're first getting started, I would recommend what we call a D block. And this is a D block. It is roughly, and of course I don't have a measuring tool. Let me grab my handy dandy trimmer here. I can tell you approximate size is almost 3 by 3. So it's a good size block to have. It's one of the most common blocks that I use. Boy, my light's really getting shadowy here now. Let me see if I can make it a little brighter for us. Sorry about that, folks. Voila! Okay. So your block choice is going to be imperative when you're looking at your stamp sets. So when you look at a stamp set, and of course we have so many to get when we go through the catalog, right? There's so many choices. I have a few here that I'm going to show you. This one, Heartfelt, that we're going to use today, it is a photopolymer set, which means basically that you can see through the stamp. And you can kind of see it, even on camera here, you can see photopolymer. They're great using words because you can see to line everything up when you're stamping. Our other stamp sets, these are known as our clear stamps, although they're not really clear. They're a red rubber. The image that you get on these is very, very good. With both of our stamps, you'll love the image quality. I would recommend when using the photopolymer stamps, which are the clear ones here, that you use a stamp pad. And where did I put that now? Let me grab another one off my table here, just a second. And through the magic of video, here is one of our stamp pads. And these are also in the catalog. This will give you a nice image every time you stamp. And as you can see, mine is very used. This is before I figured out it's always good if you put a piece of our grid paper on top of it instead of stamping directly on the pad. But once you have ink on it, what the heck, right? So you'd want to use this and a hard surface when using the photopolymer. With red rubber, or the clear, you don't necessarily have to use this, but it still gives you a really good image. And for me, I can just get that extra little bit of cushion that I think I need. So you'd probably want to consider that when you're stamping. The other thing is, when you're putting a photopolymer stamp on a block, it's very easy, right? Just take it out of the package and you stick it on the block, and that's it. Your stamp set is mounted and ready to use. When you're using the red rubber, not so much, because see, there's nothing on the back. When you pull it out, let me show you how that looks. 1 second, I'll grab this stamp set. And I'm actually going to show you, oh, I found my other stamp pad. I'm actually going to show you how to mount this. Let's see here. So when you get the stamp pads, or the stamp sets, the red rubber or clear, they come in the same type of stamp case. You're going to open it up and they're going to look like this. Well, now what do you do with that? Well, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to peel off this backing that's on your stamp set. Then you're going to take the sheet that comes with them and you're going to find your image. So in this case, I have this beautiful flower and it looks like some greenery around it. So I'm going to take this off completely. Now, a lot of people, I'll show you 2 different ways to mount these. This to me is the easiest. So I have a sticky part right here. I have nothing left on this sheet, as you can see. I'm going to take my block, and let me turn you down here so you can see this. Oh, where did it go? Where did it go? Just a second. Hold on, bear with me. I think my phone shut off. 1 second. It was tired of waiting for me while I was waiting for 5 o'clock to come. Let's see if we can put that back in here and get that working. Let's see. Well, that's not the right angle. Let's try it again. There we go. Okay. So, I'm going to take this piece with the sticky part, pull it back here, sticky part goes down on my block like this. And then I'm going to peel off the other part, the backing, and this is the part that's going to stick to my stamp. And let me take off this stamp thing here so you can see. And then I turn my stamp over, and I can see right through this to line this up. I'm getting a little glare because I'm not right over time. I'm trying not to get my head in here, so hopefully I'm lining it up right. There we go. That looks pretty good. Just like that. And now, this stamp set, look at how perfect that mounted. I don't have any overlap on there. It helped me line it up just perfect. That's the way I like to do these particular stamps. Now, there is another way to mount the clear stamps. Let me grab another one. I'll grab my dragonfly out of the package here. And we'll peel his little back off. Then we're going to go over here, and this is a little bit different. There's a crease or a slit down the middle here. If you peel one side off, you can go ahead and take your butterfly, this time rubber up, and you can line it up in the little holes here. Okay, so now I got that side. Now I'm going to go in here and grab this other piece or other side. Well, come on. Shouldn't take that much to get that off of there. Yeah, let me grab my Take Your Pick tool, another fabulous tool that we have that we're going to talk about. It has a little pointy end on it, makes it real easy for getting some of this stuff here. I just need longer nails, that's all. And I peel that off, and then I'm just going to press it down, and voila, now this one's mounted. But see, it's not as perfect, and I don't know if you can see that. It's not as perfect around the edges as I'd like. But that's okay. That's another way to mount these stamps. And I just wanted you to be familiar with how to do this. Okay, so now we know about our stamping blocks. We know that the most common size is a D. We know the difference between a photopolymer and a clear red rubber. Both stamps get mounted onto the clear blocks. Now we need to talk a little bit about ink. So what kind of ink do we use and when? Let's talk about that. I think the camera's a little crooked here. It's going to bother me, so I'm going to straighten it out. That's better. Oh, I keep moving it. Oh well, okay, that's good enough. I'm not going to mess with it. Being a perfectionist is not going to solve anybody's problem here, right? Okay, so ink. Our ink comes in a variety of colors here with Stampin' Up. And we have foam stamp pads, and colors are the limit, and I can share some of those with you. But to open these, there's a little lip, and I can kind of show you here on this end. All you do is pull it back and then push. Now, I will tell you that I am known to get ink on my fingers. How many of you are known to get ink on yours? And I probably just did it again. So I was at one of my retreats, and one of the ladies says, you know, you can avoid getting the ink on your fingers if you go the opposite end of where the little notch is here, and you put your two thumbs together like this, and watch, it won't work. My hands are so weak. You're supposed to be able to pop this in. Let me try it again. There. Sorry, I had to turn it so I could pop it. And then it just flips open, and then you can tuck it back. So keep that in mind. It helps you get the inky fingers solution. When I'm working with these inks, I try not to push them all the way to the end. I leave them open a little bit. You still have the stability of the pad, but when I go to shut it, it makes it a little bit easier to grab this, to pull, to shut. Okay? So those are our colored ink pads. Then we have two types of black ink. Ooh, lost one of the stickers. We'll talk about those in a minute. Lost it right off the back. Okay, we have Memento ink. And we have StazOn ink. Both of them are great black inks, but when do I use them? Okay, Memento ink is very useful. If you're just stamping a regular black image, you don't plan to color it, you can use it for that. You can also use it with our blend markers. These are alcohol-based. When you use an alcohol-based product, you need to use Memento ink. StazOn. You can use StazOn for pretty much any black ink stamping. You can also use it with our Stampin' Write markers. You can also use it with our colored pencils, our watercolored pencils, and you will not have bleed over. StazOn can be used with any water-soluble ink. So alcohol-based Memento, StazOn, water. Okay, water-based. Those are your differences between black inks. Pretty simple. When you get stamping, you know, I have made the mistake before of using StazOn when I wanted to use my Stampin' Blends. And did it smear a little bit? Yes, it did. Was it terrible? No, it was not. So life goes on. If you make the mistake, either you can restamp it or, you know, it may not look that bad. So those are your two types of black ink. You will need to have one when stamping. I stamp black probably, I would say 50 to 60% of the time. So you're gonna need one of these two. And if you're a blend user, I'm more of a blend user. I would recommend going with the Memento ink to start out with. If you plan on using the Stampin' Write markers, or you plan on using our watercolor pencils, I would use StazOn. Now I will tell you this too, StazOn has a fabulous, I wish there was smell-o-vision here, because this smells like cherries. Yummy, yummy. Sit here and sniff ink all day, right? But it does have a wonderful smell to it. And those of you that have stamped with it before know how nice it smells when you're using it. Kind of makes you hungry for like a sweet tart or something like that. Just real fruity smelling. So those are your two types of black ink. Now for tools. Let's talk tools a minute. And then we're going to get busy and do some stamping. One of my favorite tools is my paper snips. And when using paper snips, I would recommend that you get one that you use for ribbon and one that you use just for paper. Now, will it stay that way forever? Probably not, but you can make these, ouch, that was sharp. You can make these little scissor charms just using some of our little embellishments from Stampin' Up! To go right on your scissors to know which one's ribbon and which one's paper. Now granted, this pair of scissors for me needs to be sharpened. It's not very sharp right now. Okay, so we know scissors. Let's talk about other cutting tools. One of which is our cutter. And I absolutely love this cutter. The swing arm opens up and it gives you up to 17 and I think a 1/4 inch. So you can cut a lot with it. It has both, and I'll put this around here so you can see it. It has both a scoring blade, which is the light gray one, and it has cutting blades. And let me pop this off of here to show you these blades. I know there was some issues with our other cutter and people kind of got turned off a little bit. Well, I'm going to tell you, there's nothing to be turned off with this cutter. Let's see if I get it out of there. Look at, I don't know if you can see it. Ooh, where am I? Focus. Look at the size of that blade on there. Where our other one the other ones were just very fine. So these last a lot longer. And you can sharpen them a little bit by running aluminum foil through there. And it works good. And they're very easy to attach. There's this little groove down here at the bottom. You just slide it in and then move it forward. And the other thing I really like about this cutter is you have your increments across the middle too. And they go down to the 16th of an inch across the middle here. And there's centimeters. You can even get adapters for the ruler along the side here, depending if you're using inches or centimeters. I know when I'm using tutorials from other countries, it's nice to be able to swap this out and have the centimeter along the side instead. Now, if you want to see this a little bit better, if you wanted to show up, one of my good friends showed me to put a strip of paper in here, and then you can see it really good too when you're going to cut something. So that's another one of our cutting tools. Other tools that I pretty much cannot live without is our Take Your Pick tool. And this tool, you can get a die brush for the end here. This actually unscrews. And it comes with a little foam mat too, which is great when you're running your dies through. And then you can get a box of these Take Your Pick refills. I've already used one up. That's why my brush was on the end of that one. And all you have to do is take this out of the carton. Sorry, my fingers just do not want to work. I think they've missed doing lives with you guys. Well, get in there. Sneaking right out on me. All you do is just take it and screw it in the end like so. And then you turn it and you can see the little blue that's coming up through the top. That'll grab some of your embellishments like these here. You can just take it and rub it across and it picks it right up for you, which is pretty neat. Sorry, I keep going out of camera here. I don't know my range today. It's not usual for me, but it's been a while, right? So the Take Your Pick tool is really neat. And then the other thing that I like about it is you can unscrew this end and you have a sharp tool and you have a little spatula. And then there's another one that you can adhere in here and it has a little stylus or scoring tool on it. So this is a great device to have even for a beginner stamper. Now what I would recommend is putting a little kit together where you have your Take Your Pick tool, you have some glue dots, you have your snips, your paper snips, you have dimensionals, which we haven't spoke about yet because we haven't got to glue, and there's a couple different types of dimensionals. We have small dimensionals, we have big dimensionals, and then we have even black dimensionals. The nice thing about the dimensionals is you can raise things up, and you're going to see these in use today. It kind of gives them that 3D look, which I love. So I would make a kit that has these items in it. The glue dots are just simply really small mini glue dots. I use them to adhere bows or ribbons to my card. Love these. Of course, your tools that I just mentioned. My other favorite is the multi-purpose liquid Tombow glue. It's pretty much my go-to glue now. I do like some of the others that we have. We have a tear tape, which is great for 3D projects. And this is a double-sided tape. You just stick it where you want it, and then you peel off one side, and then you peel off the other side, and it adheres whatever you're trying to stick down. We have our Stampin' Seal Plus. This is very strong adhesive. I would say it's probably pretty close to the same strength as the Terran tape. It would hold things together that you need to stay together for a long period of time. It isn't a tape runner. It does require a little bit of getting used to. A good product. I will say I use it, but again, my go-to is my multi-purpose Tombow. I find it lasts me a lot longer. But if I need something stuck down, I don't want it to move, this is what I would use, is the Stampin' Seal Plus. Now with the Tombow, nice thing about this is I have time to play with things to get it straight. Whereas with the Stampin' Seal Plus, I don't always have that. When you stick it, it's stuck and you're not going to unstick it. So if you have it crooked on there, it's going to stay crooked. Okay, and then we have the Stampin' Seal, which is pretty much like our old tape runners, our adhesive runners. They have a nice ergonomic handle. I can open this one and show you, because I don't have one of these open, so I can use it. Yeah, let me take my scissors and cut that. So you can kind of see the ergonomic handle on there. Same as what we have on the Stampin' Seal Plus. Comes with a cap to keep everything nice. And that you just simply, roll. So, those are your different types of adhesives. So you can decide which of those you'd like to have in your kit that you're going to use on a regular basis. Okay. Let's see, we talked about glue, we talked about adhesive. Oh, I know what we need to talk about. And we're going to use this today too. This is another one of my favorites, Wink of Stella. And Wink of Stella, it's kind of like the bedazzler of Stampin' Up! Products. It adds glitter, like a glitter sheen to whatever you stamp. So it's a really nice tool to have just to add that little bit of glitz and glamour to your projects. Another thing, and I don't think I have it here, I don't, is a blender pen. A blender pen I use with like my watercolor pencils, and it will actually blend it just perfectly on there, so you have no lines, which is nice. And I'll try to grab one of those maybe before we're done here today. Okay, before we get started, let's have our first fastest finger. And this goes by what I see in my comments here, okay? So, let's see. Let's see who can type touchdown the fastest. So fastest fingers, whoever types touchdown, I'm going to send you one of these adhesive back snowflakes. And for those of you that are watching the replay, I'm sorry, my friends, but you're probably out of luck. Just thought I'd plug that in there. Well, I see my mom's on there, Carol. She has touch. Mom, it's touchdown. I love my mom. Where's all my fastest fingers here? Come on, type in touchdown. Let's roll, people. How do you think those players get up and down the field? They run. They're fast. Get those fast fingers going. Anybody out there? Whoops, where did I go? How did I get over there? I don't want there. Let me bring you back. I don't know what I did now. Okay, well, my mom came through again. She has, oh, well, touchdown. Oh, God bless her. Oh, so, Mom, you get a packet of these adhesive back snowflakes. Let me just write your name on the back of those. Don't worry, there's plenty of other things to give away today. Okay, all right, let's get to some stamping. So this is the first card that we're making today. And I wanted to show you how to make simple, easy cards. Now you may think, well, this doesn't look that simple and easy. Well, it certainly is. We're going to use a couple of different punches. Jill, field goal, love it. She was prepared for the next one, right? We're going to use these two heart punches. All right, where'd my video go? It's a little slow here. Sorry about that. One's a scallop heart, and the other one's a regular heart. There is a bundle in the catalog that uses these hearts. Let me just find it for you so you can see it. Where are my hearts? Here they are. It's called the Heart Punch Pack. There's a heartfelt bundle, which is on page 75. The punches are on page 168. And this is the heartfelt bundle. Sorry, here I'm running into some internet issues right now. You wouldn't think with the amount of internet that I have here that I would run into a problem, but this is the bundle you can get. The bundle is $45.75. With all of our bundles, you save 10%. So this might be one that you'd be interested in. It's used for more than just Valentine's Day. You can use it for weddings, for anniversaries, just to tell somebody that you love them, which now with quarantines and stuff, it's even more important to let people know that you care about them, right? So let's cut the cardstock for this card because I want to show you how to do things from scratch. So what you're going to do is we're going to use Flirty Flamingo, which is a really, really pretty color. Looks like this. Okay, and we're going to take a piece out. I'm going to grab my cutter. I have a couple scrap pieces. Whenever I get scraps, this might be something you guys would be interested in knowing. I either put them back in with the cardstock that I'm using, or I take these little plastic envelopes that my dies come in, and I put my extra cardstock and designer series paper in these little packages. So our cardstock that we're going to cut here for our card is going to be at 4 1/4. So we're just going to put our cardstock on here, and at 4 1/4, because your paper is 8 1/2 by 11. So we're cutting on the 8 1/2 side at 4 1/4. So now our piece, we actually have two pieces. That is 4 1/4 by 11. And then we're going to score our piece at 5 1/2, because that's half of 11, and we want to make this our card base. And then you pull it up. And whatever side you score on is the side you really want to do your fold on, because you'll get the best fold. And that's another item that I didn't bring out. Let me see if I have one right here at my table. Is a bone folder. Yes, here's a bone folder. Let me grab this little bugger. Bone folder is also another necessity tool. This one I had from 2016. Tells you how long they last. All you do is on your crease, you fold it, and then you just run your bone folder across the edge like this, creating your fold. Next thing I need to do is do my designer series paper. And in this, for this particular card, I'm actually using the snail paper in the catalog. Let me pull it out and I'll show you what I'm using in case you want to remake this card. It's from the Snailed It set. Let me find it here. All right, where are you, Mr. Snail? I absolutely love this set too. Jill's watching and cooking dinner at the same time. God love her. My family's probably wondering. So this is the snail paper from Snailed It. It is called Snail Mail Designer Series paper, and it has these really cute little hearts on it. It's on page 55 in your mini catalog. We're also going to be using these little heart embellishment, these resin hearts, in our twine on one of the other projects today. Okay, so let me go ahead and cut this. I thought I had a piece cut already, but we'll see. That's not it. I guess it doesn't really pay to be prepared. Oh well, we might have to use a little shorter piece because I think this might have been one of my, yeah, it's going to be a little bit smaller, but that's okay. You get the idea. I don't think I have another one. Let me just check real quick. All this paper in here is really cute though. I love it. And they're all double-sided, so you get, and this side looks like that. And you have this one. And this looks like this on the back. Oops, I have all these little pieces falling out of my paper pack. Sorry about that, guys. And I don't have another piece of that. I thought I did. I know I cut one for myself, but where it went on my table here is a whole nother question. So we're gonna make it a little bit smaller. Normally, just check one other place. Pick some stuff up off my table. Ah, no. Is that bigger? Yep, I think that might be it. Okay. So normally you want to cut this paper 4 1/4. I'm sorry, 4. The width of this card here is 4 1/4. The width of this is 5 1/2. So when you're cutting this, you want to cut it 4 by 5 1/4. So, since I want my hearts to go this way, I'm going to cut it at 5 1/4 first. And then I'm going to turn it and make sure I'm at 4, which I am. If I wasn't, I would just cut it 4. Okay, then I'm going to take my piece of Flirty Flamingo, and I have our polka dot ribbon here. And before I glue that down, oh, by the way, when you're doing different layers and cards, let me kind of explain to you how that works. I like to do mine in 1/4 inches. Some people like to do on the 1/8. Getting started, I wouldn't necessarily recommend the 1/8. I would do on 1/4. So whatever your base piece is here, you're going to cut it a 1/4 inch shorter on all sides. So this is 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. So we're going to cut ours 5 1/4 by 4. And that gives you this perfect little layer here. Make sense? Okay, but before we glue that down, we're going to tie our little ribbon around here. I'm just kind of making sure I don't want to pull it too tight. I'm just doing the whole bunny loop thing. And then I can kind of adjust it. This ribbon is real flexible. Oops. So flexible, I can't see where I just grabbed it. Let's try that again. 1 loop, 2 loops, around the hill and through the hole. There we go. And of course I did it upside down, but you get the gist. We'll just tuck those through. And then you can make it a little bit smaller because I don't want it that big. So you just pull your little ends till you get the that'll work. Okay, next thing. We need to stamp and punch out some hearts. So with the scallop punch, and I always operate my punches, I turn them upside down so I can see where my paper is in it. That way I'm less wasteful. Okay, it's in there and on my punch. And I'm gonna need 2 of these. Okay, then I can set this aside. And then I need to grab my real red. Let me see if I got a piece here, if I need to grab some. I'll just grab a piece on here. I think I used my last one. And we're going to do one of the scallops here in real red. Okay. Then I need to grab a piece of Whisper White. Let me see. And for that, I can always go to my little envelope of Whisper White that I was telling you about that I used earlier. See if I have a big enough piece in here, and I don't think I do. I think these are all scraps, and they are, so that isn't gonna work. So let me just grab a piece of Whisper White. And we're gonna take the non-scallop punch, and I need to cut out 1 white heart, and then I need to cut out, but before I do that, I'm going to stamp first, because otherwise, I did this earlier and it was very tricky to get everything lined up. So I'm going to take my heart stamp. This is a photopolymer. It is from the bundle. I'm trying to get it off of the block here. There we go. Got too many stamps laying loose here. And I'm going to put this on my block, and then I'm going to get my real red ink out. Oh, and I forgot to tell you, on the bottom of the ink pads are these really cool sticky name things, and those actually go on the front of your stamp like this, so that you can tell what color you have when it's in your stamp pad holder. Okay, and this one's just coming off because I already did that one. Okay, real red. Here we go, folks. So, who do you want to win the football game today? Tampa Bay or Kansas City? Now, remember before I told you with photopolymer, I would recommend using the pad. See what happens when you don't use the pad? You can see this little gap of no ink. Watch this now. I put my pad underneath there. I'm going to ink it up again. I like to also condition my stamps. I get an eraser and go over the top of them, then clean them real good. And then I use them a couple times just stamping on a junk piece of paper. And I find that my images really turn out nice and crisp. Okay, so we got that stamp there. And voila, don't see any gaps there now, do ya? Just from adding this simple stamp pad. Okay. Let me do another one because we're going to need 2. Okay, perfect. Now I'm going to close my ink before I get that all over me. As I told you before, ink has a tendency to attract me. And now I'm going to take my little non-scallop punch and I'm going to line it up in here because I do not want any of that extra lacy edge showing. I just want to give it a nice finish here. That looks pretty good. And then I punch it out. I'll do the same with this one. Punch it out. Okay, now we're going to stick these down to our scallop with my liquid glue. Just put a little liquid glue on the back. Look at that, look at that. Hopefully my video's not looking too bad here. I see it kind of wandering at times. Let me know if it is and I'll see about fixing it here. Do that one. Okay, now those two are done. I'm going to set those aside. Then we need to do our next heart, which is using Happy Valentine's Day. And these come out of the Heartfelt stamp set and then the Meant to Be stamp set. And both of these are in the large catalog. So I'm using Happy Valentine's Day. Let me get that on here. I'm going to use a smaller block for this. Okay. Grab my red ink again. And we stamp. Hopefully my head's not in the way. Hopefully I'm straight. Oh, I messed up a little bit. I got a little bit of red on there. Let's try that one more time. Just flipped it over. 2 sides to every piece of paper, right? Okay, that'll work. I like that one. And then we're just going to take our liquid glue again. A little bit on the back. Stick it down to the red heart, like so. Try not to get my inky fingers on there smearing my ink, because I'm known to do that. I'll set that one aside. Now I'm going to come back here to my base. I'm going to add some more liquid glue to my second layer of my card here, my Designer Series paper. And this card actually opens up, flip open. So we're going to put this down and line it up. I got that extra 1/4 of an inch. Nice thing is, like I told you before, it allows me to play with it a little bit before I'm actually ready to stick it down. I'm going to grab one of my little hearts here. Put some more liquid glue on it. We're going to stick this down right about here. I'm going to grab the other one that matches that. Put some more liquid glue on. That's going to go over here. Looks pretty good. We'll push that down. And then we have the middle one here that I'm going to take some dimensionals. I'm going to use the large dimensionals. Put those down. Is my video okay, guys? Can you comment and let me know? We're going to stick this down right in the middle of the hearts there. And voila, our first card is done. Now I'm going to go through, I'm going to trim these up a little bit because I don't want these big long tails on here. And there it is. So that's card number 1. Easy peasy card, right? Let's move on to card number 2. No video? Okay, let me see what I can get here. let me see if I can get my video back. Maybe I got too many things open on my computer. All right, hold on. Bear with me. Bear with me. Well, now it wants to work. Okay, let me change my settings here. Let's see here. I was gonna make it so it didn't pop off, but maybe we're okay now. Let me see. Turn sideways. Let me put you back on me for a minute while I figure this out. We don't want that. Can you guys still see me okay? Is that better? What's going on here? Yes. Okay, good. Thanks, Mom. All right, let me see if I can get us back so we can see the view here. Let me see if this is going to work again. Hopefully it does. Trying my desk view again here. Okay, there we go. We're back. All right, so this is our next card that we're gonna make. And this card is using the hydrangea paper. And let me show you where that is in the catalog. That was right at the front. On page 19 of the catalog is the Hydrangea Hill Designer Series paper. This card is so simple. All you're gonna do is you're gonna cut a piece of Gorgeous Grape. Again, I'm showing it to you from start to finish, so Gorgeous Grape is the color I used. Let me grab my cutter. This card opens like our other one, only it's up and down. So I'm going to cut this one also at 4 1/4 by 11. I'm just going to line it up at 4 1/4, and then I just run it through, and then I can go ahead and come back through at 5 1/2. Let me put this up here so you can see it. At 5 1/2, but now I'm only using my gray, light gray scoring blade. Okay, while I'm in here, I'm also going to cut a piece of my hydrangea paper. Let me grab that. That's not it. There it is. I have a piece of hydrangea paper, and this paper pack is absolutely amazing. This I want to cut at 4 by 5 1/4, and I want my hydrangeas to be going the right direction. So I'm going to cut 5 1/4 here. And then I'm going to turn it and make sure this is 4, which it is, so I'm good there. Okay. Then I'm going to cut another piece that is 1 1/4, I believe. Or 1 1/2, I'm sorry, 1 1/2 inches by 4 1/4 of the Gorgeous Grape. I have that there. And then I need to cut a piece of Whisper White. I just dropped it on the floor. If you see my floor right now, you would laugh. I think I've dropped 100 things on it tonight. Let's try that again. I have a little basket even, and I'm still dropping. Okay, then I need to cut a piece 1 1/4 by 4 for my sentiment. That's about, 1 1/4, and then by 4. Okay, those are my pieces that I need for this particular card. I'm going to slide that off to the side. I'm going to grab my bone folder and take my piece of Gorgeous Scrape here and just run my bone folder along the edge. Then I'm going to take my liquid glue to glue down my next layer of Designer Series paper. Now, if you are just getting started with stamping, one thing that I would highly recommend is our kits. One of my favorite kits is Paper Pumpkin. It's a monthly subscription. You can start and stop at any time that you wish. And it comes with everything you need in it to make the items in there. Sometimes it's 3D, sometimes it's cards. You never know what you're going to get, but I have never received a bad kit. Love my Paper Pumpkin. Okay, next thing we're going to do, I'm going to pull out my Gorgeous Grape ribbon, and it's kind of like a sheer. It's very pretty. This is also in that suite with the hydrangeas. I'm going to set that aside for just a minute because we have a little bit of stamping to do. I'm going to take my piece of Whisper White, and then I'm going to grab my Gorgeous Grape stamp pad. And I need the sentiment. Let's see. Here it is. Now this sentiment that I'm using is out of the stamp set, which has a lot of beautiful items in it. It's a celebration set, so when you spend $50, you can get this actually for free this month. But the thank you, and I like all the scripts in here. We're going to use a couple of them. I just think they're very, very pretty, and the words, what they say, I think are so important right now. So that's one that you can get for free this month with Celebration. That wasn't my thank you one. Where is my thank you? Here it is. Sorry, folks. Grabbed the wrong one. Okay, and I'm just going to ink this up. And I'm going to center it. Sorry if my head's in the way here. I don't think it is, but hopefully I hit the paper in the right spot. Oh, and I did. Okay. I'm going to shut this up before we get ink on everything. Now I'm going to take this other piece and I'm going to put that right on top of some liquid glue. Voila! Okay, that looks good. And then we're going to take our card base and we're going to put this right in the middle. I'm going to use liquid glue again. Okay, put this down. Go. Okay, now we need to wrap our ribbon around the base. See, a little off there on my cut, but that's okay. Yeah, come on. My fingers do not want to work. I'm having a lot of trouble with my neck. Oops, and that didn't stay done up. Sorry, folks. Let's try this again. Let me turn it this way. Just like when you're a kid and learning how to tie your shoe for the first time, right? For me, that was many moons ago. And this is not a good bow at all, but we'll make it work. Fixing right up. There. Now he's pretty. Okay, and then we're going to take our little flower punch. And, oops, that's not my scrap piece. Here's my scrap piece. And I'm going to punch out a flower. Woo! And then we're going to take these really pretty pastel pearls, again, all in the same suite. I do like to take my bone folder, just kind of curl these just a little bit. And then I'm going to take my pick tool wherever I stuck that. Now, where did that go? Have you guys ever had that happen? I was talking to Cheryl earlier, and I was like, oh my gosh, I do not know where the heart punch went. It was right in front of my face, needless to say. And I'm going to add a little pearl to the center here. There we go. And we are going to put a dimensional on the back. I think I'm going to use a small dimensional this time, though, so we don't need anything big. We're just going to stick that right there, just like that. I'm going to fluff him up a little bit more again. And there you go. There's your card. Pretty cute, huh? And you can put any sentiment you want on here. Notice we're doing a lot of creation with this designer series paper and single stamps and ribbon and a little bit of an embellishment and punches. That is one of the best ways to start outside of one of our kits. Again, I would highly recommend our kits, and we're going to talk about them here at the end. This is easy though. They're easy cards, easy to put together. Okay, our next card, we're going to do another hydrangea card. Isn't that pretty? Let me get these out of the way. Okay. Grab my Misty Moonlight. We're going to need that. We need a piece of Misty Moonlight. Now, how many of you would like to get these cards that we're making today for free? And there's a total of 5 cards. And for this one, we're just cutting it 5.5. Nobody wants free cards? Did you guys give up on me or what? Come on. Come on. Talk to me, people. And then on this one, I'm going to score it at 4.25. And I can move that out of the way. Then I've already cut on this one. I cut a couple of my pieces out. Just because, and I'm going to show you what to do on it, but I didn't want... Sorry, I'm just picking up some of my mess here so I can find things a little bit easier to share with you all. Okay. I'm going to show you how to do this, but it would take me a while to do on camera, so let me grab the piece of designer series paper out. So the piece that I use is this one here. Okay? Your components of this are the bottom layer here, or the top, whichever. And then this middle section is what I'm using for my next layer. So this middle piece, again, when you're cutting cardstock, whoa, what did I do there? I scored that way wrong. Let me grab my other one. Guess I wasn't paying attention, huh? 5.5, scored at 4.25. Let's see if that works out better. There we go. Now we're cooking on high gear. So I wanted to have this center section because it matches these flowers already. I know that because they're on the same piece of paper. So I cut out with my snips around the flowers. Didn't take very long. Not very hard to do. And then I took this center section and I cut it at 5.25 by 4. And that is my first layer. Okay? Now I've already gone ahead and I've cut out these beautiful flowers. So here's your first layer. We don't want to glue it down yet because like on our card here, I stamped up here in the corner. If we should make a mistake, we can always turn the paper this way, and the one I have stamped an arrow would be down in this corner, and then I would still have a clean slate to try it one more time. Okay? So let me go ahead. I'm going to grab that stamp. And I have my Misty Moonlight. Move these out of the way a minute because I don't want to get everything mucked up, okay? And then we're going to go up here in the corner. I'm just going to stamp. And it come out perfect. I will take that. Now the piece that I cut out, I'm going to make sure it fits without cutting off my words. And look at it doesn't fit. I want it a little bit longer than this piece. I want it to go all the way to the blue. But I'm going to have to trim off like 1/4 of an inch on the bottom. So let's go ahead. We're going to do that. We're going to trim off 1/4 of an inch. Now we should be good. Let's see. Nope, we still need a little bit more. Let me grab a little bit more. We'll take off another 1/4. That should work. Okay, I like that. That'll work. So we're going to put some dimensionals on the back side of this. I have some of the newer kits on their way, so the next time I meet, I'm going to try to focus just on kits and showing what you can make with them. There's a lot more you can do with Paper Pumpkin, but there's a lot more you can do with the kits too. You can always create other designs using the same product that comes in your kit, and that's what I like to try to focus on. Sometimes I even shoot over tutorials when I make them, just so that you get some different ideas. Oops. Let me glue this down first, because I want to make sure I line up that bottom just right. So is anybody binge watching anything on TV right now? Like on Netflix or... I can tell you my husband last night got me started watching this movie Shooter. And I have to say I started laughing. I mean, it's about a sniper and it's a really intricate... I mean, they have you engaged the whole time watching this show. Well, I start watching 1. Next thing you know, watching 2. Next thing you know, we're through whole series 1. And we're looking at each other like, how many of these shows are there? Well, now we're on series 2. There's a whole other series 3 to watch. So, needless to say, we were binge watching all day yesterday. Now I'm just going to take my ribbon. And once again, we're going to tie a little pretty bow on this. This one will be done. Oops, I gotta go the other way. Try it this way. See if we get it better. There we go. I'm one of those people, I love using a bow maker. In this case, you really can't use one because you're tying it around the whole thing. There we we go. And we'll straighten this one up a little bit. This little leg on here wants to cause me fits. There we go. Now it's pretty. Snip that one a little bit. There. And there is your next card done. Real simple, real easy, right? So what we're looking for, we're using designer series paper, 1 stamp, and your ribbon and cardstock. And of course your glue. Okay. I think it's about time to do another drawing. So, fastest fingers, how many points do you get when a football team scores on a safety? Come on, ladies. You know this. How many points do you get when you score on a safety? And that person who wins this will get the champagne rhinestones. Nope, it is not 3, Mom. Nice try, though. Nope, not 3. Not 3. Yes, Jill, it is 2. Jill, you win the champagne rhinestones. Let me put your name on the back. 2 points for a safety. I think you ladies that were doing 3 were thinking of a field goal. Nope, Christy, not 1. It is 2. All right, next card. We're going to do another Valentine card. And we're using that same Snail Designer Series paper. Same heart punch. Again, another use for that punch, right? And we're using the little resin hearts, the baker's twine that comes in this suite with the snail mail, and both of these designer papers. Okay, let me get the purple out of the way here. And we'll go ahead and we're going to cut this one up. So again, we're going to take a piece of real red cardstock. Clean up my table a little bit. I'll just push it out of the way so you guys can't see it. It's kind of like hiding things under your bed, right? I remember when I was growing up, it was like everything you could get under your bed or stashed in your closet when your parents told you to clean your room. It was bonus time, right? They come in and go, how'd you clean your room that fast? My mom's on here probably going, oh yeah. You couldn't even see underneath the bed. And the closet doors, you just didn't open them or stuff would fall out. There was no such thing as hanging things up on a hanger, right? Because you had to try on 20 outfits before you even went to school in the morning. So we're going to cut this paper at 5.5. It's fun to reminisce a little bit. My mom's probably just laughing her buns off over there. And then we're going to score this at 4.25. I don't still do that, Christy. I hang all my clothes now. And there's nothing under my bed except for feathers, maybe, because my husband has a leaky pillow. Telling all my secrets, my sister's telling my secrets. It's kind of like when you're younger. How many of you guys had a swear jar, right? And this kind of takes me back. I've been thinking a lot about my dad because I miss him greatly, but my dad said my sister and I swore too much. So we started a swear jar. And every time you swore, you had to put money into the jar. Well, I don't even think we were a week or 2 in, and my dad was all done with that because he was the only one putting money in the jar. My sister and I guess, could refrain when we needed to. The stories we tell, right? I just cut this at 5.5, scored at 4.25. Then our next piece that we're going to put down. I have one of those already cut. Let me grab the other paper pack here. We're going to cut a piece of this really cute paper at 5 1/4 by 4. So I'm going to actually go this way with it and cut it at 4 first, because that way I don't waste that much paper. And then we're going to turn it to get our 5 1/4, and that way our pattern's going right. And granted, it took me a long time to get this whole pattern thing on which way I want my paper to go to cut it. So here's my piece. This piece here that I already cut, in case you want to make some of these, is 2 1/2 by 4. All right, now we're just going to glue this piece of red on top of our little mail. I just think this is so bright and cheerful. You guys like it? If you haven't let me know you're here, you might want to do that, because there may or may not be a prize later on just for attending. So make sure you comment. And if you have not followed my page, please do so. I would love to have you know about these events when they come up. Got a little glue on my fingers. Then I'm going to take a scrap piece of red. Hopefully I have one here. Oh, let's see. Here it is. Oh, nope, that one's full. Can't use that. Here it is. Oops. Punch on the floor. Punch down. Punch down. Is that like a touchdown, but punch down? And I'm going to take the scallop part. I got to get rid of some of that off my table. The scallop part, and I'm going to punch. And then I need to take the other heart punch. And we need to take the Flirty Flamingo. And I need to punch one of them. Okay. And then I'm going to use the Love You Lots stamp set. I think I have that one out. Here it is. This one is a photopolymer. So we are going to use our stamp pad when we stamp it. We're going to use our Real Red ink. And what I'm going to do, just so I don't, this is my newer one, I only have one heart on here, so I'm just going to slide my paper over the top. And then we can go ahead and ink this little bugger up. And we can stamp her down. And voila, now we have a Love You Lots. Now the snails also are out of the Designer Series paper, and I actually just cut them out. And I went through the whole paper pack and cut them all out. I know that probably sounds stupid, but it relaxes me to cut them, so I did. I'll show you my little baggie full of them. Look at all these I cut. Maybe we'll use this one on this one. He's a little different, but he's kind of cute, isn't he? Maybe we'll use him this time instead of the other snail, so you can see what both of them look like. So you just cut those out. Now before we put this piece here down, I'm going to get rid of that stamp pad, it's going to drive me nuts. Before we put this down on our card base, we need to wrap our baker's twine around it. What I do for that is I just leave about that much of a tail off to the end, and I just wrap it, and wrap it, and wrap it, and bring it up to the top of the other one. And we're going to cut it. And then you're just simply going to tie it in a bow. Well, okay, Miss Sticky Fingers here. So my sister Christy, who's on here, she is a paparazzi consultant and sells some amazing jewelry. And I don't know about you guys, but I used to go to that didn't turn out. I used to go to when Fashion Bug was still in, or open, I should say. I used to go and get jewelry there, and I would get it, they'd have it 50% off. You'd still walk out spending, $11, $12 on a necklace, right? Well, with the paparazzi, it's only $5, and they have some really, really cute stuff. I'm going to actually be doing a class. I'm getting some stuff from her that matches a stamp set, which I'm excited about. And that'll be part of the retreat. It's a retreat to go. And you'll get a little something in there for yourself, just saying. So those of you that are watching kind of get a sneak peek at that. Okay, so I have my little bow, and I think I want to make them littler yet. I'm a little bow challenged today. You'll have to forgive me. Normally I'm not like that, but for some reason today I am. Okay, we're going to put some glue on this little baby. And then we're going to stick it to the scallop part, like so. And then we're going to take some of our dimensionals, our large dimensionals. I go through these things like little hot cakes. You get 2 packages in a pack. Lasts a long time for most people. I make a lot of cards though. Oops. Just peel off the little back. They're double-sided. We're going to put that right down here like so. And then we're going to take our other snail, which I just fussy cut him out of the designer series paper. And we call it fussy cutting, but it relaxes me when I'm cutting stuff out. It's kind of like coloring. I like to color too. I know sometimes when I do things at club and it involves coloring or cutting, people are like, oh my God, why did you do this? But for me, it is relaxing. We're just going to stick him down right there. And then we got to add a few of our resin hearts, of course. And I'm going to use some white ones here. Just put those wherever we want on here. Maybe I'll use a red one. Why not? I'll put a red one right here on his little, it's on my spatula a little long, but all right, get off there. This is when the other end of your take your pick tool comes in handy for getting those off there. Now I got it stuck on my finger. Come on. Well, let's try that again. There we go. Put that right on his little hump there. And we'll grab another white one and we'll put it up here. There, that's cute. And now we're just going to glue it down onto our card base. And this card will be done. Again, easy peasy, right? That's what we're hoping for. So for you guys that are on here, if you want to get these cards for free, I will send them to you. Again, I cannot stamp them because we cannot send stamped images in a kit to you all. So the images you'll have to supply on your own, but any of the cut pieces and the designer series paper, the cardstock and embellishments you will get if you spend $30 or more. If you spend $50, right now is our celebration time, which I love because you get to earn free product. And with the free product, you get your choice of different items in the little catalog, which let me find here and I can show you quick. Of course, I had it ready to open. Here it is. Celebration. You can get any of these items in here. This paper is actually gorgeous. The donkey set, has been a hot commodity. You can earn the paper, the ombre paper, Approaching Perfection, which is a cute birthday stamp set. You can get the Corner Bouquet or the Heal Your Heart, which we use twice today on our cards, free with a $50 purchase. And you get the PDF of the cards, and I send you another free PDF, which has over 12 tutorials in it of all different stamp stuff out of the new mini catalog. And you get your celebration item and the cards that we're doing here tonight. So take a look. If you don't have this, you can look at it online. If you would like one, I can send it to you, but there's some really nice stuff in here. A lot of it coordinates with a lot of our other items. Also, if you'd love to join my team, I'd love to have you as part of my team. Our team is known as the Rubber Clan, and people laugh at that, but it was meant to be after rubber stamping and family, because we are a very close-knit group. We're like family. We care about each other and talk about our problems and our successes and great things that are going on in our lives. And right now, you can get the starter kit for $99. That gives you $125 worth of product of your choice. And then on top of it, you get an assortment of 6x6 stacks of the newest Designer Series paper. That is one boatload of paper, people. So you get that as an extra. On top of that, you get a free paper pumpkin, and we don't want to forget free shipping and handling. So this is the best deal in our catalog. I don't want to have anybody miss out on that. Everybody needs to know about this. If it's not something that's right for you, then you don't do it, of course. But it's kind of like having a coupon for the best bargain and not taking up on it. But as a hobby demonstrator, you never have to sell another thing. You can just buy things for yourself if you want to make a business out of it. Originally, I started out as a hobby demonstrator, and I'll tell you, I do a pretty good income from this now. So take a look at this and pick out your free item. When you spend $50, you'll get the free PDF tutorial of these cards, the card stock, as well as another PDF tutorial of 12 other projects. Okay, we have one more card to make today. And then, of course, it's almost football time, right? It's 1 minute to go. Of course, they got all that preliminary stuff anyway. This is the next card we're making. I think it's quite pretty, don't you? It's made with cardstock and the Designer Series paper. The Designer Series paper that I used on this one is out of the Dragonfly bundle, which is going to be on page 27. With this, you get this beautiful stamp set as well as the punch, the Dragonfly's punch. It retails for $36.75. That gives you a 10% discount when you get the bundle, as I mentioned before. And we have this really, really pretty paper pack that you can add on. And then I have to show you something so cute. I didn't use them on this project, but I have to show them to you. Let me grab one on my Take Your Pick tool so I can hold it up to the camera. They're little ladybugs. Aren't they adorable? I think they're beautiful. And you can add those to your project. Or you can just freak somebody out and leave them laying around because they kind of look real, right? Color them with a Blends marker or a Sharpie. So those are another item that's included with that. So paper-wise, I chose a couple different pieces of paper for this card. I used, and I can kind of show you what's in here just so you can get an idea. And then there's this side, this one, and then this side, this one, and then this side, this one, and this side, this one, this side, this one, this side. Look at the cute little bees, aren't they adorable? This is the blue one I used. And they're striped. And our Calypso coral sides. I just think the paper is just gorgeous. Well, you get the idea. But there's a lot of sheets of paper in here. Love, love, love it. So the nice thing about this paper is they always tell you what colors the paper coordinates with. And I'm going to set that aside a minute. So for instance, on the other one that we used, on the back it tells you Gorgeous Grape, Highland Heather, Misty Moonlight, Mossy Meadow, Old Olive, Rococo Rose, Seaside Sprite, and Whisper White. That's how you know what to use when you're designing, people. You pull out those colors of cardstock, you pull out those colors of ink, and then you can work with just one stamp set. So let's grab another piece of Misty Moonlight. And this card opens on the 5.5 side. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to cut that at 5.5. Sorry about my junk again. I'll move it out of the way. So 5.5. Set my scrap piece to the side, so I'm going to use that for another card, of course. And then you're going to score it at 4 1/4. Okay. Then I need to take a piece of Bumblebee cardstock, which I don't think I have Bumblebee out. Let me grab one. Okay, Bumblebee. We're going to cut it at 5 1/4 by 4. Okay, so set our extra piece to the side. Then I need a piece. Let me see if I have one cut in my little package here. I need a piece of that, but nope, I don't have the blue done. Okay, so I'm going to grab the piece of blue, and I'm going to cut it, what did I do, at 1 1/4 inches. And then I'm going to chop that off at 4 1/4. Okay, then the little piece that goes in the inside, I'm going to do at 1 inch. By 4 inches. 1 inch by 4 inches, and I cut it. Okay. And then I need to take a piece of Misty Moonlight, and we have this awesome punch, and I think it was actually my punch that fell on the floor. And it was. Kind of like the hearts have the scallop in the heart. Sorry, I'm jiggling the table. We have ovals now. Small oval that sits inside of the scallop oval. And we are going to take a piece and do our scallop oval in the Misty Moonlight. And then we're going to take a piece of white, which I know I have. I think I've spent so much time looking for stuff tonight. This is so unusual for me. Guess it's just one of those days, right? And I'm just going to punch out an oval. Set that aside, that punch aside. Now we're ready to do some stamping. So the stamps that I use is the Dragonfly stamp set. Let me see if I can find it to show it to you. Here it is. Long stretch. It's this one here. And we are going to use the You Are an Inspiration. And we're also going to use these weedy looking things here with the, looks like daisies attached. This would go great with our daisy punch too. Be very pretty. There's 2 different sizes of daisy punches, so you could also use it that way. I, on the other hand, am going to ink it up with Misty Moonlight. And I'm going to stamp a real big tall one here on this side. Okay, then I'm going to come back and I want to do a short one in the middle. I'm trying to make this look kind of realistic, you know. Not all flowers are created equal, right? And then I'm going to do another tall one on this side, and I'm going to kind of angle it a little bit because I want that big flower in there. Okay, perfect. Now, I'm going to take my punch I'm just cutting my paper here so it'll allow me to punch this out easier. And I'm just going to go in here with my, and I think I gotta cut this off. 1 second here. Gotta go in here and line it up like so. I think we're good. A little pressure on, make sure, yeah, it looks good. And punch. And then I want a little one. And I'm going to do this one in a little bit different color because I don't see another blue one on here. I'm just going to line up that little dragonfly and I'm going to hold it towards me so you guys won't be able to see it, but I don't want to mess him up. There. Got him lined up and I'm just going to punch and out comes my little one. Move my scraps to the side. Come on. And my punch. Shut that up and lock it. Right. And then I'm going to grab a block here. It says for a friend. Where's my Inspire one? What did I do with you? I think I put him back in the box. Let me see. Nope. He's loose. Stamp on the loose. Stamp on the loose. Well, I guess we'll use for a friend when we're stamping it, but that's okay. All right, so I got my 2 dragonflies. I got my white piece. I need Misty Moonlight. Have to look for that, though. Probably stuck to the back side of something. That's usually what happens. For sure. We're going to use for a friend. And this does not have... Bear with me a minute. That's going to drive me nuts now, not knowing where that went. And I guess we use the for a friend. I got to put the sticker on that so we can see it. Usually when I'm stamping and I don't have time to clean it and mount it, I'll just sit it inside the stamp case so that I know where it is. Okay, we're going to put this on. Just adding a little sticker. I like what we did before. Alright, now we can see it in here. For a friend. Which would be just as pretty, it'll be a little different. For a true friend. Okay. And then we can stick these 2 together. Like so. Okay, that'll work. Give it a good smash down. These two pieces can layer on top of each other, so let's go ahead and glue those on. I'm just leaving like a 1/4 inch around all sides. Looks good. Then this piece goes along the bottom when we get the card put together. So let's go ahead. We're going to do that now. We'll glue our yellow piece on first. I see my cutting blade is starting to go on this one. If you get a fringy edge, you can just take a nail file to the edge. And it'll take those rough edges off. I'm going to glue this one down here. Like so. It's probably pretty good. Let me just make sure I have it equal. I just have to look at it. Looks pretty good. And then we're going to pop up with dimensionals, our little oval here. I'll use the littler ones here. You could use the big ones on this too. Either would work. And then we're going to put that in the center. Not too bad. Okay, now, remember I told you about Wink of Stella. Oops, let me find my... Now take a little bit of Wink of Stella. We're going to make the wings here shimmer. You might be able to see that on camera, not sure. Let's see if I can make it a little brighter again. I lost a lot of my light for some reason. Oh, not quite that bright. That's better. I'm just coloring in his wings. I want him to look nice and frilly. Glimmer, glimmer, glimmer. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing with my little one here. Not much of a brush stroke on that. He's tiny. Okay, and then I'm going to put my little dragonfly on. With dimensionals. I find these backings in the most unusual place. My friend Cheryl taught me a very good tip. If you take your pig tool and your pointy end, you can actually pick the things off and keep them all together all at once. Then they're not laying all over the floor. Instead, they're on the end of your take your pig tool. I'll put this one right there. And then we need one little dimensional. Hopefully a dimensional even fits on him. He's small. I think that, yep. And then we'll have him coming in like this. And there is our last card. Now, again, just to tell you what the special is. So, let's go through this. I don't want you to miss out. If, now I got too much brightness on me. Let's tone me down a little bit. There we go, that's better. If you spend $30, you're going to get a kit in the mail that's going to give you the supplies to make one of each of these cards. Okay? You will get the supplies in the mail to make one of each of these cards. You will not get the stamped images, so you'll have to either substitute Or if you have the stamp set, you can use your stamp set, or if you want to buy the stamp set, you can buy the stamp set and include that for your $30 purchase. You will also get a PDF tutorial telling you what the cuts are for each of these cards. Okay? If you spend $50, you get all of this plus the PDF tutorial. You get another tutorial of a variety of items from the mini catalog, patterns for cards and three-dimensional items. And you get to pick an item from this celebration catalog with a $50 purchase. Okay? So, what do you need to do to get that? You need, let me share with you, you need to use this hostess code. That didn't work. Where did it go? Where'd my hostess go? That's me. Hello, I'm Lisa Bauer. Oh, let me see if I can get the hostess code back. It reverted to an old one for me, which is not what I wanted. That is very odd. Well, I guess I'll have to post the hostess code because I don't think it's going to let me. Let me try. I'll try one more time. Okay, here we go. Let me just make this so you can see it. Okay, add. This is our hostess code right here. When you place an order online, you want to use this hostess code. Now, if you don't know how to do that, you can get a hold of me and I can place your order for you. But that's how you're going to get all this stuff that I talked about. If you don't use the host code, I won't know it's a part of this event. So I won't know to send you these items. So it's very important that you use that, okay? I'm going to try to come back and do another Facebook Live with you next Sunday. And I'm going to pick a specific bundle of product. Probably the hydrangea, I think, would be nice. To do some cards to show you different techniques that you can do with that bundle or suite. So let's do one more drawing before we go. Keep in mind this hostess code. I have one more package of the champagne rhinestones that I'd like to send out to somebody. Who wants them? Who wants them? Whoever has the fastest fingers to type Valentine's Day will get these rhinestones. Valentine's Day. Because of course that is next weekend, right folks? So hopefully you have your beautiful Valentine's Day cards made up to give to those that you love. Okay? So again, remember, this was to teach you different techniques, but if you like what you saw and you want to get these cards so you can remake them again, you know what to do. You need to place an order using that host code of $30 or more. $50 if you want the celebration set and the extra tutorial. If you just want it all, and I will give you these cards as well as the PDF tutorials, and you want to join our team, that's another way that you can get this whole thing. $99 gets you $125 plus the free card pack. You can choose $125 products with no shipping and handling, as well as a free paper pumpkin. If you're going to do that, do not use this host code. And Regina, my friend, I haven't talked to you in so long. You are the winner of these. And I think I still have your right address. And I will send them to you, or you could come and visit me at the new studio, and I could show you around. So let me know which way you'd like to go. Either I can drop them in the mail to you, or you can come and pick them up and see my new place. Well, I thank you all for joining. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget, if you don't follow my page, please go ahead and make sure you do that so you can be available to join at any other times when we have these Facebook Lives. Hoping to do next Sunday at 5 again. And until then, I hope your favorite team wins the Super Bowl, and I hope you enjoy the commercials and get a few good laughs. I know we could all use that right now. And have a nice evening. Till next time, my friends, take care.